This is Frontdoors TV, an Inspired Media 360 production. I'm your host, Carey Pena, alongside Frontdoors Magazine publisher Andrea Evans. And we are here now at the Mountain Shadows Resort on location today in Paradise Valley, Arizona. Coming up, we will be profiling a Valley organization called FSL as they transform tens of thousands of lives. And we will be taking a look at the new cover of Frontdoors Magazine. But first, let's go ahead and open up the office doors. And Andrea, you guys are profiling the president of Phoenix College, Dr. Larry Johnson. And this season, you're doing something new and different with this feature. Tell us about it.
We are spending a day in a life with these leaders in our community. And we're talking from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. on what happens in a typical day of their life as a leader here in the Valley, their career, and their personal life too.
It's really fun because Dr. Johnson spent time with your editor, Karen Warner, and you found out a little bit more about what makes him tick. Tell us.
We did. He gets up very early to get a workout in, and he is a fit guy, so that's great. And really, you know, it was back to school time, so there was a lot of activities going on the campus the day that we followed him, including plans for the 100th anniversary of Phoenix College. So lots going on there at the campus.
It's a very exciting time for them. And I thought his daily routine was very interesting because he's of course a very busy man, but he makes good use of his time. And I like that he said that he plans a lot of lunches, but he does it strategically so he can check out cool places around town that he wants to eat at and have a nice lunch meeting at the same time.
He does that and a couple really cool things in interactions with the students. He's been doing a couple undercover boss type of things. So he was in a classroom for an hour and 15 minutes recently, and also came to the campus as a janitor and worked with the staff as a janitor for a shift. So he is just really engaged with the campus and making a huge difference.
And one other quick note, because I thought it was super interesting, that he is readily available on social media and says that he has a lot of the students reaching out to him and he makes himself accessible. I love that.
That, and he has half-an-hour increments where you can come ask him anything on Fridays from 1 to 5.
Well done to Dr. Larry Johnson. And now to our charity close-up. On each episode, we like to highlight a charity or organization that really goes above and beyond in the work that they do right here in our beautiful community. We are on location with FSL, a charity that provided help, hope, and housing to more than 30,000 people just last year alone. And today we meet a family whose life was shattered by a drunk driver, but FSL has helped them pick up the pieces.
Jennifer was at age 17, T-boned by a drunk driver. She was pinned in the vehicle. They had to pry her out. She had to be air vac'd to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, they lost her, and in the ER, they lost her. You're not there. It's like out of body. You're there, you know what's happened, but you just can't believe it. She was on a respirator for 3 months, came out of that, had to relearn everything with a traumatic brain injury. Everyone who meets Jennifer cannot believe the joy that she brings.
9, 10, now go up and down if you have it. Thank you.
It is the place for her. It's safe. It gives her independence. It gives her the opportunity to go out and do things. There are planned events that happen.
We operate 3 adult day health service communities around the Maricopa County. We have one in the West Valley, one in Phoenix, and the one we're at today in the East Valley. FSL has been around for 45 years. When we look at the changing demographics in our country, you've got a person turning 65 every 8 seconds in our country. That's going to put a tremendous change on the way we have to provide services. FSL helped around 30,000 people last year. And really for us, when you're looking at developing more affordable housing for people, making sure people have access to nutritious meals, really the big service that we provide is health and social services. So to be able to provide those interventions to people who need them. And then last but not least is that caregiver support, a break, a respite for the people in our community who are having to care for a loved one.
How are you? I'm good. Are you exercising? Yep.
You can't focus on the anger, you have to focus on the good. My aunt told me one day, unrelated to the accident, you don't get to choose what happens in your life, but you get to choose how you react to it. And that's what defines you as a person.
Joining me on set now is Tom Egan, who is the president and CEO of FSL. Tom, thank you so much for coming down here to the Mountain Shadows Resort to hang out with us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
I really enjoyed being on location and learning more about what you all do. The Foundation for Senior Living was established in 1974 to improve quality of life for seniors and caregivers. But boy, you guys have grown from that time, and you really do so many things to help change the lives of people in our community.
Yeah, we really have evolved to be a multi-service nonprofit. And while we certainly have a heart for all the seniors that we serve, we've started to say we serve Arizonans of all ages.
Yes, and one of the things that really stood out to me when you were talking to me about the affordable housing issue, I had no idea the magnitude of this problem. And you said to me that Arizona is the third worst in the country for lack of affordable housing. What do we mean when we're talking about affordable housing?
So when we talk about affordable housing, we're talking about a family not having to spend more than 30% of their income on their housing costs. You know, in Maricopa County, if you're talking about a single mom with kids, that adult's got to earn $19.52 an hour to be able to afford your average 2-bedroom apartment. Unfortunately, we don't have that many jobs. You know, we have too many low-wage jobs that we're creating. We're putting a family in a situation of having to work 2 jobs just to be able to afford rent.
So what's your goal?
What's our goal? Our goal is to build as much affordable housing around the state as we possibly can. When we look at this year, FSL's got about 4 different projects in various phases of construction right now. We hope to build about 200 units of affordable housing around the state.
One other thing I wanted to mention is that what I thought, you guys are doing so many innovative things, and the communities that you build are truly beautiful communities. I mean, you want to put people not only into a situation where they have a roof over their head, but they're in a housing situation that they're proud of. And one of the things you've also identified as a huge problem is obviously food shortage. So just quickly tell us what you're doing to team up with the food pantries.
Yeah, so when we look at the individuals and the families that live in our affordable housing communities, we really look at the whole person. And when we start talking about housing in the healthcare community, we're starting to talk about housing is healthcare. So we really have to look at the social determinants of health and look at everything that person needs. One of the things in listening to our residents we found is they just don't have enough food. They don't have enough access. So we've made sure that all of our properties around the state of Arizona have either a food bank nearby that we have a relationship with, or we can integrate a food pantry into the property to really just be able to provide some supplemental food to help people just get through the month.
You are doing such amazing work. I want to leave it with your quote that you said to me about dignity, that everyone deserves dignity. Just leave us with that.
I mean, dignity is just a core value for FSL, and people are born with dignity. It's not something you have to earn. So if we take every person who comes to our door and treat them with dignity, that's something that I talk about to all of our employees of the golden rule. Treat other people how you want to be treated. If we're doing that, you're starting off on a great foot.
Well, you are leading the organization in a superb way. I really appreciate you coming down today.
Thank you so much.
Andrea is back in the hot seat now, and we're taking a look at the cover story. You put so much time, attention, love, and care into who you place on your cover every month. It is a very well-known advocate in our community, Angela Huey, from One Community Foundation, and she is in the business of marketing equality.
Yes, the foundation and One Community has really made not only a difference here in Arizona with their Business Open to Everyone campaign and all the amazing signs and pledges that are being signed, but also across the country. And Angela is a leader in this movement. You know, it's really about kindness, Carey. That's what I boil this down to in my perspective. And of course, our company signed the Open for Business pledge. And it's an amazing story. 20 years in the making, actually.
Well, tell people who don't know, she is very well known, but for those who aren't familiar, what does the pledge mean?
The pledge means that you as a business owner are open to everyone. You're not screening anybody that is coming in, you know, with religion or political or sexual orientation. Yeah. This is a foundation effort. This is not a political campaign. And so we thought it was really important to explain the story behind those signs that are up at lots of businesses here across the valley and across the state.
So many great leaders included in this issue. Congratulations to you and your team. Another beautiful issue. And that's going to do it for us in this edition of Front Doors TV. Thank you very much to our friends from Mountain Shadows Resort. I do want to tell all of you that they have a beautiful new art exhibit here. It is curated by the wonderful John Reyes. And by the way, guys, it's free to come over and take a look. You can walk through the exhibit. John does tours every first and third Friday of every month. And he's such a personable guy, and this resort is truly exquisite. And they also have a lot of unique resort events like moonlit yoga, if you feel so inclined. In fact, they're setting up for a yoga seminar behind us as we speak. And we also want to thank our Glam Squad, our friends over at Saks Fifth Avenue, for styling us, and the Sparkle Bar. You can find us at frontdoorsmedia.com and inspiredmedia360.com. Until next time, take good care.